Welcome everyone to another segment of Burnt Coverage. I'm Curtis.
And I'm Joel.
And we're going to be breaking down your NFL Week 2 fantasy outlook for the wide receiver in daily and weekly fantasy leagues. Do you want to lead this one off?
Sure. Alright, so if you've seen a previous segment, I was all over Drew Brees, and this week I'm going to go with Stack. I'm going to go with Drew Brees, Brandon Cooks, New Orleans Saints. Brandon Cooks last week had 4 receptions on 8 targets, only for 49 yards, but he was shadowed by Patrick Peterson last week. The entire game, Patrick Peterson was following Cooks all around the field. 1 rush, 4 yards, not much, but it's good to see that rushes for Cooks are in the playbook. And this week against a not great Tampa Bay defense, let me say that again, and then you're going to interrupt. Not great Tampa Bay defense. And this is the New Orleans home opener. Everybody knows that New Orleans has a huge home field advantage. And so I think this is their most electric player by far. He was off to a great start last year before he got hurt. And I think they're going to try to get the crowd involved early and often. And I think Brandon Cooks is going to be the recipient of that. He saw the most targets last week in that game. And the Bucs secondary allowed the 3rd most fantasy points to wide receivers in the last year. So, Brandon Cooks, hi, welcome to my squad, especially for the price of $7,000 on DraftKings, $7,400 on FanDuel. I'm all in.
Yeah, obviously he's in a cushy matchup against my Buccaneers.
That's an understatement.
The Bucs supposedly have a decent corner and also Ron Burner, if that's what they keep telling me.
Who says that?
I don't know. My Bucs app that keeps every time the other team scores. It's really reassuring when you get a team's app. It tells you the updates of the game, and they just keep updating the other team, pouncing on your team. Anyway, this is my life. My only concern about Brandon Cooks, though, is that it could be 21-0 in the first quarter, like the Tennessee Titans did. Tennessee Titans offense is no Drew Brees, Brandon Cooks, Mark Ingram offense, so I'm a little afraid Cooks might have an early day.
No, I really think that after the game last week, New Orleans is going to put their foot on the gas and not stop. Sean Payton likes to make statements occasionally. He's got that Belichick thing to him. And I think this is going to be one of those games because it was they should have won that game last week, in my opinion. But I think that the home opener, Brandon Cooks, all New Orleans offensive players, I'm all in.
He definitely has the talent.
Yeah.
Sticking with my Bucs ineptitude, I'm going to go with a player that scored against the Bucs last week, but has been widely overlooked in weekly and daily leagues, and really is a threat to become Mariota's number 1 receiver. It looks like it's going to be Kendall Wright, but it could be Harry Douglas, and this is why. Harry Douglas is another guy who has a lot of experience in this league, playing in a high-power offense when he played with Atlanta. He's also a possession receiver, and he's never shied away from the big moment. He's a guy who can consistently catch 4 or 5 passes for 80 yards. Last week he only had 2 catches, granted, but they didn't need him to do a lot. And one of those catches was for a touchdown. Well, DraftKings completely ignored this fact and kept him at $3,000 the minimum, and he's $4,800 in FanDuel. And I kind of see this Tennessee Titans, Cleveland Browns game playing out that it's fairly close. I think they're going to be doing a good amount of running Tennessee, but I think Joe Hayden's going to probably be shadowing Kendall Wright. We also have Delaney Walker with a hand injury this week, and so it leaves Harry Douglas with a lot of space, open up, a lot of short catches, and possibly another touchdown. For his price, it's a pretty easy bet, I think, to make.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of it. I played Harry Douglas in a couple leagues last week, and I got burnt, literally. The 2 catches killed me. I mean, one of them was a touchdown. That's great, and Delaney Walker is banged up, but I don't know. Like I've always been a fan of Harry Douglas. He did a great job in Atlanta, but I don't know, the usage is, I'm not jumping off the wagon yet, but there are some concerns. So I don't know if I'm ready to make that play again 2 weeks in a row.
Well, and let me say this. Like he does cover with 2 catches and a touchdown. It's not a great cover, but he does at the minimum price. And this is somebody I'm saying solely for the minimum price. Let's say that you had a lot of other players in different positions that you just couldn't bear to part with, and you have $3,000 left. I think this is not a stretch at a $3,000 price.
Yeah, and I don't anticipate Bishop Sankey having a game like that again this week either.
And he's splitting with Terrence West, who also had a decent game.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I don't anticipate that.
And Terrence West, just to throw this out here, is going back home to Cleveland, so you might see him a little more than Bishop Sankey if you're thinking about playing Bishop Sankey.
That's a good point.
My
turn?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. San Diego Chargers. Nope, not Keenan Allen. 15 catches last week was amazing to see, and I hope that you reap the benefits of that. I did. But I'm going complete opposite. I'm going Stevie Johnson. So all preseason, I've been on and off Stevie Johnson. I haven't been sure what to expect. I've been watching a lot of the preseason, been reading a lot of the San Diego publications about how great of a training camp that he's had. But I really needed to see it first. So what did he do? He got 6 of 6 targets and a touchdown last week against Detroit. And we all know that Keenan Allen obviously dominated that game, but the thing that really jumped out to me was that Stevie Johnson was running the Antonio Gates routes. He was running over the middle and catching those plays and catching those passes out of the playbook that Gates, we're used to seeing Antonio Gates run. And this way, I also think that things are going to open up more because of the Keenan Allen game. I think teams, again, are going to double team and focus on stopping Keenan Allen. And I think as Stevie Johnson gets more comfortable and develops a rapport with Philip Rivers, I think it's only going to be even better things to come. And I think it starts this week against a not-great Cincinnati defense. They're on the road. I don't know that San Diego's going to win the game outright, but I really anticipate that Stevie Johnson having a better game than Keenan Allen this week.
And it's true that I hesitate to say that Keenan Allen's great, but one player who is playing great really makes everybody else play better.
Yeah.
You see his energy, but also just the amount of defensive awareness they're going to be putting on Keenan Allen. Opens up Woodhead, as you mentioned before, opens up Ladarius Green. I think it's also a valuable play. Opens up Stevie Johnson, of course. And then and Rivers with all these targets. So it's really a situation to watch. And while the prices are still low, Keenan's price is low too.
Yeah.
I think he's somebody I had down. I think he's 7,100 in DraftKings off the top of my head.
Yeah, and
8,200 and.
But Stevie Johnson's half that price. You get Stevie Johnson for 42 on DraftKings or 57 on FanDuel, and I anticipate this being a fairly high scoring game. I think I have. Give me 1 second. Pause. Vamp. The over/under of this game is 46. So Vegas is usually within a couple points of this. So I really anticipate this being a fairly close game with some high-scoring shootouts.
And just to wrap things up, you can't see it right now, but Joel's now holding the gun to my head. I have to pick Jordan. I have to pick Jordan Matthews as my last wide receiver.
All right, round of applause. How do you feel about that?
I feel a lot better if I could say Mike Evans, but I can't. Jordan Matthews really had one of the more, I think, underrated week ones, even though almost everybody watched this Monday night game. He had 13 targets, 10 catches, over 100 yards. He had a touchdown. He had a touchdown taken away. And the last catch, non-catch, which we all saw, went to his fingertips. He was obviously Bradford's go-to guy. And this price that he's going for right now, $7,100 in DraftKings, $7,000 in FanDuel, that's not going to last very long. He's going to be drawing a ton of targets week in and week out. This is their guy. And he has the talent to match, too. I don't think he's necessarily as fast as some people have made him out to be. But I think he does have a lot of possession skills, which for me targets a lot of targets with great possession skills and lead to a very high floor. Another thing about Matthews is he's playing a very suspect Dallas D without a true shutdown corner. I know last week ODB did not perform that well against the Dallas defense, which disappointed some people. But they've been, Eli and ODB have been off all preseason into this game, into the last game. And Bradford and Matthews look spot on through the preseason up to now. So I am not hesitating for 7,100 or 7,000 in either league to be playing this Jordan Matthews.
He ran a 4.5 at the combine.
Okay.
He's not as fast. It's black and white.
All right.
What do you want? 4.5.
He ran a 4.5. I don't think he's the speed receiver. I don't think he's as fast as.
No, but he's got the speed and the size, which just make it's a potent combination. And if you're one of the dozens of people who've watched this show before, you would know that weeks ago I proclaimed Jordan Matthews to be the future MVP of the league, and I think he is off to an amazing start on that MVP campaign.
Top 40.
What?
Top 40.
Get out of here! Oh my God!
Come on, Woodhead's above him right now. Come on, give me a break.
I'm done with you.
Yeah. Well, I guess that wraps it all up for us on our wide receiver segment.
No, I'm going to continue this conversation after the camera turns off, but it's fine.
Well, what you'll see is someone's going to be rah-rahing the Eagles or Nazi, and I'll be trying to constrain all his hopes so he doesn't crash in January.
I'm just trying to win you money.
And likewise, so am I. I'm Curtis.
And I'm Joel.
And we'll see you in the next segment. Good luck this week.
Cheers.